Okay guys, today we're going to be replacing this gas control valve. This went bad on the homeowner, so we're going to just remove this. Now, one important step before removing your gas control valve is that you have to drain the water heater. So I have a hose, just a regular water hose. And what I do is I cut it down to maybe like 6 feet to where I can get it to the closest drain, which is right over there. So these are good to have in your truck at all times because you never know when you will be draining a water heater. Okay, so after you hook it up here, then you want to turn off the gas. Okay, so no gas is cycling through. We're gonna remove this flared fitting. We're gonna save it. Again, take this out. We're gonna remove your igniter wire here. Okay, so if you've seen previous videos, I did a video on removing the thermocouple and replacing it. So unfortunately, when you have to replace your gas control valve, all this has to come out and then you got to pull this out again. So if you're going to pull all of this out, you might as well replace your thermocouple depending on how old your water heater is. Okay, so and then you have your burner supply tube. This will also get removed, and then I would recommend putting your gas Teflon tape on there and some plumbing dope or thread sealer to seal that. And then also you have your pilot supply tube. Okay, so all this is going to come off. We're going to pull this out. These do take the starter screwdrivers. Now, depending on which brand, you may have to replace the gasket as well. So if this comes out, get the kit for that too. Okay, really quick, I just want to go over a few tools that I'll be using on this project. I have 2 sizes of crescent wrenches. I have our star screwdriver here. This is for the screws. Okay. We have our leak detector. You want to put that over your nipple here and over this gas flow pipe that goes to the burner. And then we got the thread sealer. The thread sealer is going to go up underneath here and on your inside of your flared fitting on the male side. This is helpful when removing your control valve. After you remove your gas line, you're going to put this inside of it, and then you're able to turn it all the way around. Okay, this is just leverage. And you can also use a smaller one as well. And if you need to use a screwdriver for more leverage, you can just put it inside and then turn it and then screw it. Okay, so those are the tools I'll be using in this video. Okay, so that's open all the way. So as you can tell, it doesn't put out that much water. So you're gonna be here for about 15-20 minutes, if not longer, draining the entire water heater. So while that's draining, then you can start working on all this other stuff and prepping yourself. Time is money, so there's always something to do while you're waiting. So here's the new one. So on this one, you just need to pull down a little harder and it'll pop right out. thermocouple. Next, we're going to take off these star screws. Okay guys, so I've also done other videos on replacing this thermocouple right here. So if you guys need to research that, go to my videos and then you'll see a link where that is displayed. Okay, so a little tip to remove your control valve a little easier. You could always use a 1/2-inch threaded pipe. Screw it. Just screw it in, and that way it's a little easier to turn. So once you think all the water has been drained out, now we're going to remove this. Expedite it. So now we can put this piece in. Okay, so being that I was in a hurry, I just used a bucket real quick to catch the water and then put this one back in. Don't do that if you guys are new at this. I would recommend just draining the water heater for 30 minutes to an hour just to make sure all the water is out. But you know, if you're in a rush, this is what I do. So as you could tell, no water's leaking out. So we're gonna tighten this up, keep going with it, and move on. Okay, so you just saw how important leverage is on that and changing that control valve out. Now we're going to put our flared fitting in. Okay, so I have this thread sealer. This is for gas lines. So I'm going to apply that to the inside of the male fitting. Okay, so being that this is a flared fitting, you don't have to put the pipe thread on it. So we're just going to screw it back together. Okay, once you have all your gas lines connected, you will be using leak detector. Basically, this is just soapy water. All right, so I'm gonna fill up the water tank while we're messing with the rest of the stuff, so that way when we turn it on, you have water inside, and that'll help the process go a little faster. All right, so next we're gonna insert our burner again. The gasket looks brand new, so we're gonna save it.
Okay, next we're going to screw down our screws.
Okay, next we're going to install our thermocouple line. I like to go in sequence. It's just a little easier when you're tightening down. Okay, so this one I like to use thread sealer on it and tape if you have it. Sorry, I know the lighting is terrible down here. Okay, so next we're going to put in our igniter wire. All right, we're good to go. Now we're going to turn on the gas. It's going to take a few minutes to get cycle through, so just be patient with it. But next you're going to go to off position first, and then we're going to rotate it to pilot. Okay. Next we will hold down the pilot button and then hit the igniter multiple times until we see a pilot flame down in the glass here. And while that cycles through, I'm going to put some leak detector on it. See if we get any bubbles. It's looking pretty good. Next, we're going to check up here. So far, so good. No bubbles. Okay, next we're going to hold down the pilot button and hit the igniter. Place my thumb and it stayed lit. So don't get frustrated if that happens. So now I just turned it to on. Okay. Now you can hear the flame going higher. So we're going to go to hot. And now we have a good flame. Okay, so even though you have a pilot flame down below and you release it up here and it goes out, just be patient. Hold the pilot light down for at least, you know, 2 to 3 minutes if you have to, so it cycles properly. And then you'll get a nice flame. So just be patient. Okay guys, so that concludes this video. Another thing to keep in mind, if you hear a sizzling sound coming from the inside of here, your water heater is not leaking, okay? Sometimes when you fill the water heater up with cold water, you'll have condensation buildup, and so, you know, it'll have to burn off that moisture that's inside. So don't freak out just yet. If your water heater is leaking, you'll know. All this will be coming out slowly, all right? You will definitely know if your water heater is leaking. So the sizzling sound will go away eventually. Remember, it's just the condensation inside when you filled up the tank originally, okay? So subscribe and hit that bell notification if you guys want more maintenance projects such as this. Okay, take care. Vinny the Handyman signing out.